On this episode of the Globe News Report, we take a look into the closing of the Mennonite Historical Society.
We follow the Globe staff on their trip to New York City.
We'll sit down with illusionist Vitaly and even get to see one of his illusions up close.
The city of Goshen had a special First Fridays to support non-profits.
Goshen's Clay Artists Guild and First Light Mission partnered for an Empty Bowl fundraiser.
And we'll go through local news and events with the community calendar and a Goshen News Week in review.
All that and more is coming up on the Globe News Report. Welcome inside the Globe Studios for the Globe News Report. I'm Eduardo Alvarez-Barrera.
And I'm Isabel Masood.
Belle, I feel like this year has flown by. We're just shy of a month for you graduating. How do you feel?
It's a very confusing feeling. I don't know really how to express that. It's a mix of anxiety, happiness, but I think I'm just glad to cross the finish line. So
that's awesome, Belle. Well, I hope the best for you in the rest of the year.
Thank you.
But we do have a full show ahead, so how about we move on, Belle? The Mennonite Historical Society has shut down. Members voted at the end of last year to start winding down and close down the Mennonite Historical Society. Isabel Masood has the story.
In 1921, Mennonite Historical Society was founded in Goshen College. Throughout the 20th century, the AMHS was a main contributor and supporter of scholarship and research in Mennonite history, especially through the Mennonite Quarterly Review.
It was a quarterly journal that was published from 1927 until the present, and it became a really important journal for scholarly conversation about Mennonite history and life.
Even though the society started in Goshen College, it wasn't long before other universities became partners.
It very quickly became something that connected people in the field from other schools.
However, on December 4th, 2025, the board members voted to wind down and close the Mennonite Historical Society alongside its longtime journal.
How do we sustain publishing that matters? How do we stay connected to people outside of our own institution? And is MHS the best way to do that, or are there other ways that we can achieve those goals?
The best solution found for the problem was to merge Mennonite Quarterly Review with another journal and expand its reach.
At the same time as the MQR conversation was happening, Conrad Grebel University up in Canada, they also had a journal. They had closed publishing that journal for many similar reasons, time, effort. Eventually, these things all coalesced, and a decision was made to join MQR with Conrad Grebel Review.
The new journal will be housed at the Anabaptist Mennonite Biblical Seminary in Elkhart, which is affiliated with the Institute of Mennonite Studies. AMHS is ultimately not being erased, just changing its format to accommodate the scholarly world in the modern times. Coming up on March 28th, AMHS is hosting an event to celebrate the society's work and impact in the community.
It would be a really interesting way to better understand how Goshen College has played a role in the development of the field of Mennonite history, and to get an idea of kind of all these different people and places that have been connected to Goshen College through the Mennonite Historical Society.
Reporting for Globe News, I am Isabel Masood.
Belle, it's sad to hear such an important institution had to close down, but I hope the best of luck for them in the future and even on tomorrow's event.
I agree, it's always hard to say goodbye, but making changes is the best way to improve and move forward. So.
That is true, Belle. And talking about changes, I had myself a pretty interesting change when I was sightseeing and I was eating a lot at the Big Apple. And I felt like a true New Yorker, if I'm going to be honest with you, Belle.
Well, I wish I could have been there. New York has a very special place in my heart, especially because it reminds me of home. The Globe staff traveled to New York City for the Intercollegiate Broadcasting Systems Awards. The team not only received 5 awards, but they also bonded at the Big Apple. Eduardo Alvarez-Barrera has a story.
On February 18th, the Globe staff traveled to New York City after being nominated for 15 awards at the 87th Annual Intercollegiate Broadcasting Systems Conference. Liliana Herrera won Best Campus Community News Coverage and Best Video News Report. Mackenzie Miller, Kate Boddicker, Tyson Miller, and Seth Smith-Kaufman won Best Morning Show. Mattia Marjatic and Gregor Ramos-Basher won Best Commercial. And 91.1 The Globe was named the best college station in the nation with a student enrollment under 10,000.
Really exciting to see that my work was being awarded, and that kind of just solidified, okay, then I am right in the right career, I am doing the right thing, and to see that it won nationally was just amazing.
There's like a perfect mix, in my opinion, of like downtime to go do cool things, but also like to learn more about broadcasting. And I even learned things that I felt were useful this year, even though I don't intend on going into like specifically broadcasting as a career. Like there's always interesting things to being talked about, and like it's just a place of professionals.
The Globe staff enjoyed their time at NYC and showed that hard work pays off. Reporting for Globe News, I'm Eduardo Alvarez-Barrera.
It's great to see that the work we do here at the Globe makes a difference, and I couldn't be more grateful to be part of this team. Congratulations to all the winners.
After the break, I'll sit down with the illusionist Vitaly and learn about what got him into this career. That's coming up on the Globe News Report.
Goshen College. Everyone's at home here. Students from around the world and down the street find inspiration and lifelong friends in our unique, supportive community, right here in northern Indiana. Cutting-edge academics, real-world learning, and small, personalized classes make the difference, all surrounded by world-class culture and championship sports. Most importantly, it all leads to a record of amazing outcomes in diverse fields of study. From pre-med to social work, broadcasting to accounting, schedule your campus visit today at goshen.edu/visit.
Inside the Globe studios, this is the Globe News Report. Sitting beside me is illusionist Vitaly. Vitaly, thank you so much for joining me in studio.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, Vitaly, so we'll start off with our first question. You fell in love at a young age with art, and then as you grew older, you got an engineering degree. What pulled you towards illusions, though, now as a career?
Yeah, I wanted to do magic before I went to study engineering. But my parents, they wanted me to have a real job, and I actually thought maybe engineering would help me with some of my invention of magic. It was a little disappointing because we studied such theoretical mathematical terms and things that you can't really use, like triple integrals,
Oh, okay.
But it was still helpful in other ways, and I can brag about it. but magic is something I wanted to do way before that.
Okay. Okay. And many claim that your show is the belief that humans are only limited by their own imagination. What do you have to say about that?
I think it's true because they say that if you can imagine it, you can achieve it. And so to some extent, there's no limit to what we can achieve if we're able to envision and be persistent with achieving our vision. And I mean, look at what humans achieved over the centuries.
That is true. Okay. And Vitaly, you have to explain to me, because I was searching you up and a whole bunch of things, trying to do some research, and I saw that you're an illusionist, and there's also magicians. What is that difference?
Well, an illusionist, it's somebody who's trying to create an illusion, in my case, of the impossible, and make it feel real. Now, a magician can be an illusionist as well, but it's just I think it's a broader term because it can be a wizard, a real magician. It could be a birthday party magician, a trickster. It could be so many different things.
Yeah.
It can be the Lord of the Rings. It could be,
Yeah.
An illusionist, it just sounds more specific. I'm telling you, I'm not a real magician. I don't have real magic skills. So I'm kind of being upfront about it. But what I'm doing is creating an illusion. But other artists, I like to look at them as illusionists as well, because many artists create illusion with their art form, whether it's music or painting. They tell stories with the different medium, Now, a magician or an illusionist would blur the lines, though. I blur the lines around. So if a painter paints a picture, then you can tell it's a painting, but it makes you think of the tree or the house or the portrait on the painting. In my case, I try to kind of hide the frame.
Okay.
So when I present my art, you cannot really tell where is the frame, whether it's reality or not. So I kind of blurred that line. And so I pull you into that world. So that's why I like what I do, the magic part. And before magic, I used to paint. And when I moved to magic, I realized I'm still painting in people's imaginations. That's my canvas, audiences' imaginations. And because I'm not really making them see things, I just encourage the imagination. And they create the images that they see. So it's a collaborative process, in our minds.
Wow. And Vitaly, you were part of Penn and Teller's Fool Us, which congratulations on being able to fool them not only one time, but 3 times.
Thank you, yes.
But tell me, which one of your illusions was your favorite one?
It's always hard to pick a favorite because it's like, they're all my children. So it's hard. Who do you pick? They're all different and great in their own way.
Yes.
The latest one is always, the freshest, and I'm pretty proud of the illusion I did on the 3rd time. It was with actually I might share with you something similar, so I don't want to spoil it here.
Okay.
But it's about capturing a moment in time. The 2nd time I was on their show was also quite challenging. It was during the pandemic. And so, because, once I appeared on their show, I actually wasn't thinking I wasn't thinking of coming back, actually. And then the pandemic happened, and nobody was performing or doing anything. And I thought, what if I, do something online?
Okay.
And at the time, they started to film their season online. So the 2nd time I was on the show was virtual. So I wasn't live in the studio at that time. And the illusion I did ended up way more complicated than I ever planned. And I wish I could share the details, but it's just going to spoil the fun if I do.
Okay.
But oh my God, I mean, so much went into it beyond anyone's imagination, including my own at the time, what will be up for that illusion. Sometimes the thing with the stuff I do, sometimes they kind of look simple, but there's so much going on behind the scenes.
Okay, well, Vitaly, actually, how about we go through one of your illusions?
Sure. Yes, sounds good.
So, Vitaly, now is the time for you to blow my mind with your illusion. So, take it away, Vitaly.
Right. So, I got some fruits, my breakfast, actually.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you to take a few and arrange them on this plate, any way you like, in any order you like. Go ahead.
Any order. Does not matter.
Doesn't matter, no.
Let's get
Apple, pomegranate, maybe one more. Take another
maybe one more?
Yeah. Which one would that be?
I kind of like this orange.
The orange. Oh,
Yeah.
beautiful. Very artistic. I like how you kind of
Thank
gently
you.
kind of,
Yeah.
Are you an artsy person? You're into art?
Sometimes,
A little
I
bit?
dabble.
Dabble?
Vitaly. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I can tell. Do you want to swap? Do you want to make any adjustments?
You know what? I'm going to get a little crazy.
Okay.
And I'm going to go here.
Oh, yeah, that's crazy. That's a big difference, yes. That's a big difference. And I actually like how the plum left out. It looks kind of very artistic, like a painting almost.
Okay.
And I used to actually arrange fruits just like that when I was a kid and paint them. And then I started doing magic.
Okay.
And the first item I got as a magician was a deck of playing cards. And I brought some here. And so, of course, I want you to see that all the cards here are different. You can you can come closer so you can see. You guys can see as well.
They're different. They're not the same.
They're all different cards.
Okay.
And what we're gonna do, I'm gonna ask you to go ahead with your finger and just touch any card at all. Any card.
Let's go with this one right
This
here.
one right here?
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna place it on this little envelope right over here. So we created an arrangement of still life and a playing card, or art and magic. And the show we're doing this Friday, the show we're doing at the College Music Center, it combines art and magic in a unique way.
Okay.
Now, this envelope was sitting here all the time. And you swapped these two fruits, but if you had made any other change, or if you didn't leave out the plum, you put something else instead.
Of course.
Or if it was a different card, what you're about to see would not be possible because this envelope was sitting here all the time. Hold on to it.
Okay. Yeah.
And this drawing, it's like those drawings and paintings I used to do when I was a kid, but this time you helped me finish this. Because look, it starts, come closer on this so you can see. It starts with the plum.
No.
And then we got a playing card. And well, can you zoom out so they can see? There you go, the 9 of spades, right? The playing card, 9 of spades.
Whoa.
And all the other fruits. Exactly as you planned it.
Exactly
Eduardo,
as I planned.
Exactly, it captured that moment.
Whoa.
So this is, of course, a close-up version, but in the show, we're going to do larger stuff like that with oil paintings and sculptures and things that happen with art, but in a magical way.
Yeah.
Now, we also do stuff with photography and with people's driver's license, their pictures, the photographs on their driver's license. So this is actually something I wanted to mention because one of the features things in the show is to make people's faces come to life or disappear on their driver's licenses.
How is that even possible? What? Vitaly?
That's right.
That I'm more than impressed. Words cannot explain how did that even happen? Oh my goodness.
So it's a little souvenir for you.
Thank you so much. I'm definitely going to keep this. I'm going to need you to sign this, Vitaly.
Absolutely.
I'm going to need you to. Well, Vitaly, thank you so much. And thank you so much for blowing my mind also, for joining us in the studio. Thank you, Vitaly.
Thanks for having me. It's so nice.
After the break, we'll take a look into how the city of Goshen gave back to their own nonprofits. This is the Globe News Report.
So you just graduated from Goshen College? What experiences prepared you for this job?
Where do I begin?
Inside the Globe Studios, this is the Globe News Report. Eduardo, I just got us tickets for tonight's magic show.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm a big magic fan, so I'm kind of jealous right now of you.
Hey, well, about no worries. There's plenty of illusions coming up later today, but until then, we turn our lenses to March 1st Friday when downtown businesses partnered with local nonprofits for Goshen's Give Back event. Liliana Herrera has a story.
March's First Fridays in downtown Goshen is not just about enjoying the festivities, but about the way that the community can support nonprofits and local businesses.
During March's First Fridays, downtown business partners with local nonprofits for an event called Goshen Gives Back. Participating businesses donate 10% of their proceeds from the night to a nonprofit organization.
Spring into Action was born, and that was exactly how it looks right now, where it's businesses giving 10% of their sales back to a nonprofit, and that was kind of like a great motivation for people to come out, because you feel good about spending your money when you're spending it locally, but also knowing that part of it's going back to a really good cause is just, you know, a great aspect of this event.
The goal is simple: bring the community together while giving local organizations extra support. This year, Fables Books partnered with The Window, a nonprofit that provides resources and assistance to people in need throughout the Goshen community.
I like this event because then it also pairs with the nonprofits. Since we have started, this is year 7, or like not quite 6.5, but we have always chosen The Window because they're our neighbors next door, and so it's important to us to give back to them.
While 10% of sales might not seem like much, for nonprofits, those donations can go a long way.
Well, first of all, 10% of the proceeds from First Fridays will go directly to feeding neighbors here in downtown Goshen. It makes a direct impact, especially in times of high need like now, and we are so grateful to have Fables partnership.
Events like First Fridays not only bring people downtown for food, shopping, and entertainment, but they also highlight the strong connection between Goshen businesses, nonprofits, and residents.
Whether it's First Fridays or any normal day, these businesses will rely on the Goshen community for their support. Reporting for Globe News, I'm Liliana Herrera.
What a powerful campaign. This shows what happens when a community comes together for a good cause.
Exactly, Belle. It's great to see that the Goshen community can come together and help each other out at these times.
Eduardo, let's stay on that note, highlighting the Goshen community. Goshen Clay Artists Guild and First Light Mission partnered for the Empty Bowl fundraiser last Saturday. This fundraiser was held to help raise money for the First Light Mission, aiding the homeless and people who are struggling in the area. Rose Snyder has a story.
Goshen's Clay Artists Guild and First Light Mission put on their 26th annual Empty Soup Bowl dinner Saturday, March 21st as a fundraiser for the First Light Mission homeless shelter. With a $20 ticket, community members have their pick of a handcrafted bowl made by members of the Clay Artists Guild and their choice of 8 soups to fill it with. This annual event was started in the year 2000 by the Clay Artists Guild as a way to give back.
We really wanted to make sure that we were involved with the community somehow. So the 2 ways that we decided to do that was to give classes to the public, to adults, and we also wanted to do a soup fundraiser. And so that's kind of how it got started.
Guild members are required to make 2 dozen bowls each in preparation for this event. Members then volunteer by helping cook and serve soup to attending community members. The proceeds from this event directly benefit those sheltered by First Light Mission.
And so every bit of the funds goes right back into us providing shelter for anyone with minor-aged children and single females.
The intersection of the Artists Guild and First Light Mission was started by a guild board member.
And they were looking at it for a way to be involved in the community and give back. And so they selected us.
This fundraiser has been a means for Goshen residents to connect and show their support for one another. The Artists Guild and First Light Mission's goal is to bring equity to their community.
Not everyone is fortunate or are in the same financial or social situation. And so we want to do our part to help alleviate homelessness.
For Globe News, I'm Rose Snyder.
The Goshen community never disappoints when it comes to lending a hand in times of need.
Now it's that time of the show to give you an overview of the top headlines from the past week. Here's Igor Sapukaya with the Goshen News Week in Review.
Thanks, Belle. We'll start in Goshen. Nearly 500 people gathered at Maple City Chapel for the Goshen's Chamber of Commerce's annual Founders Day celebration and luncheon. Goshen Mayor Gina Lichty delivered the keynote address providing a State of the City update. During her remarks, Lichty discussed recent policy and financial changes impacting local governments, including new state legislation that changes how municipal revenue is collected. She said the city has had to adapt by focusing on core services and careful financial planning while still working to support community growth. Let's stay in town. 3 local Democratic candidates are competing for the opportunity to run against current District 49 Representative Joanna King in this year's general election. Michelle Milne, Monica Garbasiak, and Susan Lawson participated in a primary forum hosted by the Elkhart County Democrats at the Goshen Theater. During the event, candidates discussed issues including education, support for families, and immigration policy. The winner will advance to face King in the November general election. Voters have until April 6th to register for the primary, which is scheduled for May 5th. And finally, the Goshen Theater will also host performances of the classic play Inherit the Wind this weekend. Shows will take place Friday and Saturday at 7:30 p.m. with the Sunday session at 2:30 p.m. Directed by Adrian Nesbitt, the play is a dramatization of the 1925 Scopes monkey trial, which involved a teacher prosecuted for teaching evolution. Written in 1955, the story continues to explore themes of free speech and the right to think freely. Tickets range from $15 and to $25 and are available through the Goshen Theater website. That's it for this episode's edition of the Week in Review. Eduardo and Belle, back to you.
Thanks to the Goshen News for providing those stories and images for this week's show.
Now, let's get into the upcoming events with your community calendar. We mentioned it today, but I will mention it again. Tonight at 7:30, the internationally acclaimed illusionist Vitaly brings his show, An Evening of Wonders, to Sauter Concert Hall. To purchase your ticket, visit goshen.edu/ticket. Kids under 12 can get in for free.
Starting off tomorrow, March 28th, the Allen County Fairgrounds is hosting the Spring Craft Bazaar in Fort Wayne, Indiana. With over 90 vendors and free entry, the event starts at 9 a.m. and goes until 2 p.m., filled with local vendors and diverse food options.
If you haven't watched yet, Goshen College's theater department will start its second and last weekend of Poor Clare. The play, set in the 13th century, will take the stage of Humble Center March 28th at 7:30 with ASL interpreters, and March 29th at 2:30 p.m. General admission is $12 or $10 plus one non-perishable food item.
Looking ahead for next weekend's Goshen very own Luke Miller and Raven Jane are back as Sugar Nova blesses the Ignition Music Garage stage with Be the Band opening. The Denver-based pop duo will take the stage on April 4th from 7 p.m. until midnight.
That's going to do it for this week's Globe News Report.
Make sure to check out all of our social media pages at 91.1 The Globe on Facebook, Instagram, and Bluesky at globeradio.org.
And don't forget our website, globeradio.org, for more Globe content and the Globe Radio app so you can take the Globe with you wherever you go without missing a beat.
Tune in again in 3 weeks for a new episode. For everyone in the studio, I'm Isabel Masood.
And I'm Eduardo Alvarez-Barrera. Thanks for watching the Globe News Report.